Welcome back to Insert Brain Here, a Simpsons podcast. I'm your host Connor, and with me, as always, and for the first time in this season, is David.
You're right.
Oh, very energetic.
Very.
Today we've come together to discuss The Simpsons, Season 2, Episode 1, Bart Gets an F.
Very good.
Original air date, the 11th of October, 1990. Almost 23 years to the day.
Fucking, wait, 19?
33 years to the
Thanks.
day.
I thought I was going mad there. So
No.
What?
No. It's not 2013.
I'm younger than I thought.
Much to my chagrin, it is not 2013.
Yeah.
Dread is in cinemas, and no one's going to see it. It's 2013.
Yeah, I don't recollect anyone that I know that went to see that.
I didn't go to see it. I saw it on DVD. I rented it from a Blockbuster video.
I saw it on Sky.
Ah. What did
For
you
anyone who's not a British person, by the way,
Oh,
Sky is a broadcast service, I guess. Something like that, I don't even know.
that's fascinating stuff.
Anyway.
What did you think this episode was about, David?
Just
This
trying to lay
episode
anyone
of the show
want
The
any more
Simpsons.
descriptions on what Sky is?
What do you think Bart got an F was about? Bart gets an F. What did he get?
An F.
Why?
Because he does not apply himself.
Tell me more.
That's usually where it would be extrapolate.
Oh, I was actually going to go with elaborate on that for
very
me.
good. Yeah, we're going for a similar theme.
A therapy session is what we're doing.
Yeah, basically.
Aye.
Tell me more.
And how does that make you feel?
Tired, apparently.
Sluggish.
Yeah, like I ate a few Big Macs before. Unassociated with any particular chain.
We didn't even eat any
We did
fast
not.
food burgers.
We
ate
did not. We deliberately did not.
Italian pizza from an Italian restaurant.
Exactly.
And what was this episode of The Simpsons about?
Shit. So Bart gets an F. Bart gets an F. And that's all.
That's about as brief as you can get it.
Yeah, it's you constantly complain about it being too long. So
What does F stand for in this scenario?
a fail
Right.
on his test.
Not a fuck.
Probably not.
I would hope not. He's 10.
Yep.
Oh, that's staying in.
I know.
That's got staying in written all over it.
I'm aware.
You know what else has writing all over it? Bart's paper. It's got the letter F written all over it. Tell me why.
Circle it back round any chance you
You know
get.
it's got a circle around it?
That
The
fucking F. Yeah, I know. Oh, Jesus. I was kind of paying attention. I was actually paying attention to the episode. I just completely forgot everything as soon as we started up recording.
I'm glad. The few minutes it took to set the mics up and it was gone.
Gone completely. So basically, Bart's at school or goes to school, whatever. And that's not
I'm
even
glad the first sentence of your recap was Bart's to school.
well, I said Bart's at school.
Oh, I
Or
thought
he
you meant
goes to
Bart's
school.
Bart's to school.
Bart's school.
As long as you get the keywords, I'll edit the rest.
Yeah, you just clip them together, it'll be fine. Add in some ands and so's and whatever.
Bart's school test, no good.
So Bart goes to school and they're doing like presentations.
Book presentations. Because
book presentations. Martin's doing
presenting
Moby
it.
Dick.
Ernest Hemingway.
Oh,
who he
Ernest.
is.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. He's reading Moby Dick later on, that was it.
Yeah.
Right,
Aye.
never mind then. Wrong book at that particular moment. It's in the fucking episode at least.
Aye,
We're getting there.
aye.
Anyway, so he's doing Ernest Hemingway and he's doing like a whole big production for Martin, at least.
Yeah,
on it.
He's doing Ernest Hemingway, but he looks like Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse.
He does, doesn't
Which
he?
wouldn't come out until like 2019.
Yeah.
But that's what he looks like.
Very good. I never actually like clicked those two, sort of that look.
Bad luck to kill a seabird. You're fond of my lobster, ain't you? Etc. and so forth.
Aye.
Aye.
So, for some reason, immediately after Martin, it's Bart. His turn to do the book report, and grabs his book and obviously does a half. You know what, mate? Like that report was better than some of the reports I gave at school.
Really?
Oh, way better.
I
didn't have any pictures in the front of mine that I could fucking bullshit off of.
Yeah, there's no pictures on books in the UK.
No.
Nah.
There's occasionally a picture in a book somewhere, but it's mostly just doodling art.
It's
from
actually
some
the
prick.
law that you can only add the picture to the cover of a book when it gets turned into a movie in the UK.
There we go.
That's a lie I told you just then.
Something that some unchecked fact
Ripped straight from the pages of Three Blind Mice Trivia. I don't remember ever doing a book report.
I remember doing some. It was essays and stuff like that to do with books and things like that. I remember doing essays. And I remember doing a presentation or three. I think it would have been about 2 or 3 presentations. One on a play. One of them was on a book.
Did you ever do a newspaper article?
Yeah, I did a newspaper article on something. That was on like some fucking historical shite. I remember doing like a newspaper article, it wouldn't have been a newspaper article. I believe it was written in the style of a newspaper article, but it would have actually been a clay tablet for a Roman news shite. You were a Roman news typer or some shit like that.
No, I did contemporary newspaper articles about like puff pieces.
Right. Okay.
Seaside town.
Oh, we didn't do any of that shit. We were doing like
new seagull babies or some piss.
Right.
Lots of seagulls in this episode already. Too.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was the episode about?
So Bart bullshits his way through the report. He gives a terrible, very, very short diagnostic. Very wrong because he's just guessing it from the front. He hasn't read it. Yeah, obviously.
And the movie Treasure Planet hadn't been released at this point, so you couldn't even watch that and just pretend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because the book is Treasure Island.
Yes.
If you mentioned that.
Yeah, Treasure Island, that's the one he was doing. Sorry, I forgot about that bit. I could see the fucking picture in my head, but, you know.
It only occurred to me because I made the Treasure Planet joke and I was like, will this work?
Probably not.
Much like every other joke in this podcast.
Very good. Fell flat. Perfect.
Wonderful.
Very good.
What was this episode about?
So Mrs. Krabappel guesses correctly that he's not read it at all.
Yeah.
Questions him on it. Then she asks him what the name of the main pirate is. Well, I believe she said what the name of the pirate is, but there's more than one in Treasure Island, but whatever.
Did you remember what the name of the pirate she was talking about was before Bart? It was, I think it's Long John Silver.
It is. It's Long John Silver. I did not remember in that moment when he was reading them off in his head, listing them off in his head. I was like, Blackbeard sounds about right.
I thought that as well.
But when he obviously he went for Bluebeard, by the way. But Blackbeard was a real pirate. Yeah.
And Captain Hook, he mentions, who's from Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't those ones.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that. I thought Blackbeard. I was like, that sounds like it could have been right. But after the fact, but before it's actually revealed it was Long John Silver in the episode, at least.
Yeah.
I did remember it was Long John Silver.
Oh, right.
I was like, wasn't correct in my initial surmise. Blackbeard. The episode then goes on to... Wait a minute, is this when it goes on to the fucking... I've forgotten half the episode already, as you can probably tell.
You don't say.
Yeah, I know. The next bit that it goes on to is that's the bit where they've got the teacher conference. They bring in like Homer and that, or Mass Skip and something.
Skipped about 20 scenes.
Perfect. What have I skipped?
I can't remember.
See why I can't fucking think of this shit?
Well, I usually remember everything about the episodes, but
Yeah.
fuck me.
Go on.
Mrs. Krabappel, Edna Krabappel, she says, bear in mind tomorrow is the test about George Washington and the signing of the Declaration of Independence and all that.
Yep.
Piss and shite.
Yep.
And Bart puts off studying for it so that he can go to the arcade.
Yeah, so
I've taken over.
He's supposed
just
to be
for
doing
these,
it.
Just for these couple of scenes I can remember, because I have to, now that they're in my brain, they have to come out my mouth.
No problem.
Or I'll
lose them again.
Hurt a child out in public. Bart procrastinates. He goes to the arcade. He plays Don't Kiss My Grandma or something.
Escape from Grandma's House.
That's it.
Don't
he goes
kiss
to
my
the
grandma.
Noisy Videoland arcade.
Yeah.
Which we couldn't remember in a previous episode.
It was edited in.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did I remember to do that?
Yeah, you did.
Good.
I think. If not, then we'll maybe edit this out.
We don't know. But you'll know. If you're a loyal insert brain here fan.
Yeah.
Loyal listener, you'll know.
Yeah.
He then he goes home and he's watching Itchy and Scratchy with Lisa, and he's like, I'll do my research after
dinner.
This, and then dinner gets called. He's like, I'll do it after dinner.
Yeah.
Marge
soup,
calls,
which is not soup.
Yes, Marge calls, come and get your soup, kids, because if you don't, it'll get the skin on it. And
then they're eating, presumably, the soup skin on a plate. Because what the fuck else was it?
Marge has a chicken, like a chicken drumstick in front of her and some mashed potatoes. She does.
Yeah, I saw mashed potatoes.
Not unless soup was the starter. And then they had a chicken dinner.
These are poor people. How the fuck have they got a starter?
Well, sometimes you do that when you're poor. You know, you have like a soup and a main instead of a dessert. Because sweets are expensive. You never did that when you were a kid?
Mate, I only ever heard about starters when I went to like my posh grand's house.
I know sometimes when I was a kid, you would have like a can of soup as a entree.
Mate, if we were having a can of soup, it was a can of soup and a couple of slices of bread.
It's and a can of soup chucked at your fucking head.
Probably, aye. Can of soup and a few slices of bread, and that was dinner. Well, except actually, it genuinely usually wasn't canned soup anyway. It's actually usually homemade soup.
Oh, laddie da, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Laddie da, it's fucking water and stock
some
cubes,
of us have a home to make soup in.
What are you fucking talking about? We're making this in yours.
We are in our official podcast recording studio, I'll have you know.
Which happens to be where you sleep.
Maybe. Mayhaps. And then Homer's like, Bart, you're not studying. There's a big ape movie marathon.
Yeah.
We're going to go watch some big monkey movies.
Mm. Where he tries to actually bugger off up the stairs, but Homer grabs him and yanks him through into the living room.
This podcast is made by a big gorilla.
It is. Awesome.
Mm.
We shouldn't badmouth gorillas.
Our gorilla overlord.
We may end up in pieces.
Mm.
Yeah.
The gorilla that pays my wages in barrels he throws at me while I try and rescue the princess.
Yeah.
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 Then Bart tries to study and he falls asleep right away.
Yep.
Otto doesn't help him on the bus.
Because he said we can't fucking crash it or whatever on purpose.
Yeah, he's like, I can't crash it on purpose, little man. Sherry and Terry, the twins, give him false information.
Mm-hmm.
And Martin Prince, who we last saw in a speaking role in Bart the Genius, gives him some advice, and he's like, those answers you've been given are falsified information. Martin Prince, in my mind, grew up to be Jordan Peterson.
Sounds about right.
He's got the voice, he's got the mannerisms, he's got the lack of people who love him.
Yeah, definitely about right.
Yeah. Bart, these young men are losing their will to have father figures. It's the death of Western society. You gotta clean your room. And then he cries. So Bart goes in.
Yeah.
And he fails, I think. No, he doesn't.
He's sick.
Phones in sick.
He's in there and he fakes an illness while he's in there. gets sent to the nurse's office, fakes an illness there, reading word for word basically what's in the
the
medical
nurse is
book.
reading the medical book, and she's like,
well,
do you have this? And he goes, yes. And she's like, do you also feel this? Yes. So he fakes his way out there, and then when he's home being pampered by Marge, he phones Milhouse.
Gets his answers.
And Milhouse is a moron.
Yes. He also failed, but not quite as badly as Bart, because Bart somehow got one of those wrong. Even more so. The only answer that Milhouse got right, Bart got wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that he takes test, fails it outright, gets an F, absolutely no answers correctly.
Aye.
Then
that's when
that's when that scene happens.
Dr. Pryor and Mrs. Krabappel talk to Bart, Homer, and Marge.
Yeah, where we find out Homer is also got that fucking whole thing of just zoning out when people are talking.
Oh, Peanuts brain, where you're looking at an adult talk and they go wah 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 wah. Yeah, like
basically,
in the Peanuts cartoons. Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Aye.
They suggest about potentially repeating the fourth grade and getting held back. Bart obviously thinks that's a terrible idea, so pleads to retake the test and to pass the test, and it should be fine.
No, is it?
Or take a new test. It's a new test.
It's the last test of the year.
That's it. Yeah, the last test of the year, and to pass. So he approaches Martin.
Yes.
To see if he can sort of trade with Martin, make Martin a bit cooler, and Martin can make him a bit smarter.
We see a little montage of that happening.
We see a bit of a montage about that kind of thing happening. Martin getting having a bit more fun, and making a few friends.
I just say I think this is the longest episode recap we've ever done.
Yeah, well, there was like 15 minutes at the start where I dodged the question.
There was 20 minutes of talking about other stuff.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I don't know.
You were talking about Martin.
He basically becomes a bit of a cool kid at this particular moment anyway, and then wants to blow off school because he's kind of switched places with Bart, and Bart's trying to study. And so the person that was teaching him how to study and what to study and everything like that, he's no longer helping him out. So he's on his own, and it's
late at night.
It's late at night. He's been studying. He's been failing to study. He just can't sort of focus on it.
It's past his bedtime.
It's past his bedtime.
Before the big test.
Yep. And so he just before he goes to bed, he prays to have like something happen, close the school somehow.
Have a strike, have a power cut,
something.
Have a snowstorm.
Yep.
And that is what happens.
Yep. And then there's the whole like miracle music that goes on through the night as some snowflakes fall.
Hallelujah.
That's the one. And
not the Jeff Buckley, Leonard Cohen Hallelujah.
No. The, like the church Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Didn't even think I said that right. I think I said something else. But anyway, Hallelujah. That's the fucker. Just one more to cut out. Probably not.
No.
Good. So yeah, this is where obviously it's big snow day. Bart gets woken up by his mum. They go down to sort of breakfast. That's where Homer finds out he's got the day off. That's where Bart finds out that luckily enough, him and Lisa and all that, they've got the day off.
Yes.
And Bart geared up, ready to go, slide in hand, halfway run into the door when Lisa, who saw him last night, which I forgot to mention, praying, stops him at the door and points out the fact that I have no idea what God is or whatever, but he's got more power than mum and dad put together. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's some power.
More power than Homer and Marge Simpson. Man.
Oh,
God.
Jesus. But yeah, you owe him basically that you promise you'd do what you're supposed to do here. So he's like, you're right, I'm going to go study. Buggers off up the stairs, sets everything up and goes, what am I really missing? Cold ears and like, I don't know, frostbite or something.
Walking up the hill with the sledge, trudging up that big hill. Yeah,
and then whips the curtain open and sees the most magical snow scene imaginable. And I think 95% of that is his imagination running wild. I don't think a lot of that happened. I think there's a bit of snow and occasional a kid might have been building a snowman.
Well, there's the bit, because it pulls a lot from famous snowy Christmas media.
It does, yeah.
The scene where all the Springfieldianites, whatever, are in a circle holding hands singing is taken from the original animated version of The Grinch.
Yeah.
Mr. Burns having the top hat and the big black coat and the cane.
Yeah, you've always say that's
a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
So I think something, I can't remember what it is, something was taken from like a Charlie Brown.
Right, yeah.
It's very idealised and media informed.
Yeah. So he sees that scene and he runs off to the basement with a fucking candle for some reason.
A candle and a little dish.
The little dishes that we used to use for
abandoned building photography.
Yeah. He's trying to, he's picturing what's going on in you sort of like blur through the book and see the scene that was happening here at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And Bart's there and he sees a fucking snow day happening there, basically.
And George Washington and everybody runs outside.
Yeah, go play snow fucking whatever.
There's a joke about John Hancock writing his name in the snow.
Yeah, aye.
You know that's why they call signatures John Hancock's? You ever heard that before, where somebody will say, put your John Hancock there?
I've heard it once in real life.
Because of John Hancock
once.
signing his name on the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. I never clicked at the time that that's what they were actually even saying. So I've heard it once, well, as in I've heard it in one situation. The guy said it like 3 times and I was just like, the fuck are you talking about? He's like, sign it, mate. And I'm like, sound.
Maybe in future just say, sign it here.
Yeah. That was one guy once in my fucking life.
I think I've heard it from like 4 or 5 different people.
I have not. Which is for the best, because I still wouldn't even.
If I said to you, put your John Hancock on this, it's the piece of paper that means you'll get residuals from this podcast.
I'd probably be wiping my cock on it with my hand.
And I'm like, wow, that's worth more money now.
Exactly.
Than it was before.
Because I'd be wondering what the fuck you were talking about.
Residuals?
And that's obviously
money.
Yeah, that's obviously the first thing I would go to. You know,
how does the episode conclude, David? We're 59 minutes in. We started recording this episode at 9:30. It's now 10:10.
10 past.
Whatever.
Close enough.
Either way. What happens next? He's having the dream. It's a snow day.
Yeah.
And
he's had the dream.
Suddenly he's in class.
He's in class all of a sudden, taking the test.
Yes.
Everyone else has finished the test. They fuck off. And Mrs. Kabopple comes over. And yes.
I was pointing to the Lego figurine of her.
Yeah.
On the wall of our recording studio.
Yes. It's not just her up there. It's pretty much all of them.
Besides Snake.
All of the produced ones, anyway.
Besides Snake.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Because he was an exclusive. He was only available if you bought the Quickie Mart Lego set.
All right.
And I haven't.
Ah, fair enough.
I'll maybe at some point if I can get the fucking funds together. It's out of print now, so it's
perfect.
They only made 2 sets. It was the Simpsons house and the Quickie Mart. They were going to do Springfield Elementary and they didn't. That's why Skinner isn't in this, because he was going to be the exclusive.
Right, for that.
For the school.
Well, something you learn every day, right?
How does this episode end? How does it wrap up? What's the conclusion?
The conclusion to the episode is Miss Kabopple comes over.
Yes.
To Bart trying to finish off his test.
Yes.
Presumably he didn't actually finish, by the way.
Yes.
And she takes it off him when he asks her to mark it now. So she starts marking it now, whips out old trusty, the red pen. And she slaps it back down, 59 out of 100.
Still a fail, but a high fail.
A high fail.
Oh, maybe even just 1 mark away from a negative D, 1 mark away from a pass. So close yet so far.
Bart starts crying.
Yeah, he does.
And she's trying to comfort him with, I'm sure you would have been used to failing by now. And shit like that, some of those beautiful one-liners.
Aye.
He was like, no, this I actually tried this time. This is as good as I could do. I'm still a failure. And then he comes out with a line.
He says, I feel like George Washington when he surrendered to the French in
17 fucking something.
Close. I don't have it.
Mate, I wasn't paying attention. You don't throw things at me when I can barely get the episode out, let alone fucking dates, historical dates for American history.
It was actually 1754, and I know that because I remembered it.
This isn't a Harry Potter podcast. You don't need to impersonate Hermione Granger here.
I read about it in America, a history.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Actually, most of our listeners, or a few of our listeners, are in America.
How? You know how many episodes we shit on America?
I can tell you this. None of them are in France.
Well, that's true, because the French episode really ruined that one. Oh, shit.
I shove a baguette up my pussy hole.
You know what, though?
That's a French man saying
yes,
that.
I know. But that is the one episode that I thought Americans might love this. Because they all hate the French.
Yeah.
Or most of them do.
Yeah.
Right. And near the end of the episode, we fucking ruin it by shitting on the Americans again.
I remember. Yes. Bart Simpson says to Mrs. Krabappel, he says, my God, I feel like George Washington when he was forced to surrender to the French in 1754. That was a visual joke that will not work if you're not
just listening.
David. Anyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't see it because I was doing it.
But yeah, so once she said that, she flipped through the book, she realised, oh, that's actually right. And was like, hold on, that's like extra information.
Because you cited the day extra information and because it was fairly obscure.
Fairly obscure, yes. You deserve an extra point on your test. Which brought him up to 60, which was a D-. So he was overjoyed, jumping about, saying thank you, gave her a kiss on the cheek, bombed out the door, halfway skipping down the fucking playground before he actually clicked on the kiss the teacher and started spitting her all over the place. And that's it. Yeah,
well, there's also the scene where he puts the
they put the fucking the thing on the fridge.
Lisa's A pluses.
Yeah.
The end. My God, I feel like I've lost half my fucking life.
That took longer than the episode did.
Yeah.
That took longer than The Simpsons took to show us it the first time.
I had so much energy going into this episode. I feel like I nailed it with the intro.
Yeah, you did. That was good intro.
It was very high
brilliant. Brilliant.
And now I feel like my eyes are dripping down my cheeks. Like,
kind of looks a little like
my heart is going to explode. I feel like I'm dying. And oh my God, what's that coming through the door? It's our famous segment, Ion Springfield. Ion Springfield, the segment where we discuss characters who have made their debut appearance in this episode.
Yep.
Are you fucking ready, kids?
No kids should be listening to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready, though?
I am ready. I'm always ready.
First appearance of Mayor Quimby.
Very good.
He gives a little speech during the snow day.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of first appearances, surely.
In this episode?
Yeah.
No.
No, really?
I'm almost done.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, man.
First appearance of Nurse Farrell.
Okay, yeah.
She's the nervous wreck of a nurse.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
What?
No, I was mistaking her for a different character. Remember the nervous wreck of a teacher who was she's on the stage and she's shaky?
Oh, yeah.
That looks like Nurse Farrell, and they have similar dispositions.
Hmm.
Someone do a Simpsons investigation YouTube video on this.
And then send us a comment through our website or something.
We have a website.
Yeah, we have a website. We'll
at the end.
I say shit about it.
First appearance of Marty and Billy from KBBL radio station in voice only.
Yes.
That's the end. Bye on Springfield.
Many, many new faces. 1. 2. 2, potentially 1.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
I was just thinking there of the first time that you did that one.
Yeah.
And we were laughing about it, and it was just like, pretty sure I just got that wrong.
I'm still getting it wrong.
I know.
We'll get to the point eventually where we hit the episode where they actually do it, and we'll find out what it sounds like.
That's the only time it's getting corrected.
No, I'm doing it wrong then as well. This is a podcast original song.
Very good.
I think Iron Springfield doesn't show up until like season 5 or 6.
Oh.
So we're talking years down the line. If season 1 took us from the beginning of October
fucking hell,
to the end of December.
Yeah, and that's the shortest season.
We did 14 episodes, including the recap.
And we are also going to have other Simpsons stuff.
Yes,
in some of the other seasons.
Eventually, we'll cover that damn blues album.
That'll be somewhere in this season, in season 2 somewhere.
In the middle somewhere.
Yep. Because it's around here. It's around nowish. Next few episodes sort of time. That's when that was released anyway. So
yes, that's correct.
It'll be somewhere in there. And there's a few other things as well. We've got games and all that kind of stuff to cover, presumably before season 5.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like arcade games and side scrollers.
Things that we're going to have fucking trouble getting hold of.
I did at one point look into buying the arcade cabinet.
Ouch. That would have been painful.
No, they did like a reprint of it recently.
Oh, did they? Oh, that'd still be fucking difficult.
Like £300, £300. If we were doing a video podcast, I would buy it.
Oh, with that.
Because I'd be like, put it in the background of every fucking episode.
Yes. Sitting on it. Anything. What? Sit on it. Sit between it. Something.
You can't sit on it. It'll fall apart. Cheap piece of shit arcade.
Maybe.
Yeah. This will be our second meme spot. I'll do meme spot right now.
Right now. Perfect. Right? Before we forget about it.
I didn't have it in my notes, so I have to Google what the meme is.
I couldn't tell you either. It was the fucking Shy Lisa thing, wasn't it?
No. I googled it and it came up instantly.
Oh yeah, they're staring at the empty plate.
She's bent over with her mouth open, staring blankly at an empty plate.
Yes.
That is this episode's meme spot.
Yeah.
There's no fanfare for meme spot because this is the second time I've remembered to put it in an episode.
Yes, we've probably missed a few already. Yeah.
What is this, a Simpsons podcast?
Yeah, something like that.
There's a meme spot. It's a nice to revisit meme spot, I think, for the first time since season 1, episode 2.
Jesus, was it that far back?
Yep.
God
it was Skinner. Well, it's a Skinner pathetic meme. Where it's like the low shot of Skinner.
Yeah.
And then the meme, it says pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bart the Genius or Bart the General. No, it's not Bart the General.
No, Bart the Genius, I'm sure.
It must be Bart. So yeah, season 1, episode 2.
Right. Few episodes there that we've missed.
11.
Yeah.
I didn't spot any memes.
Yeah, I neither did I, though. I'm not so big on, or like up there in my memes.
Yeah,
so
you
I
also didn't like spot the plot of the episodes, so.
That's a very good point. That's valid. I'll give you that one.
Are we jumping into boyish or if someone got fired for that?
Sure, why not? There's not much here, I don't think.
I'll let you lead the way because I didn't really spot anything.
So there was a couple of, I wouldn't say this is really fireable, but screw it, why not?
It's just the name of the segment.
Yeah, I know.
We're not actually asking for anyone to be fired from this show that aired in 1990.
For the best. We're getting nowhere if that's the case. So there was a weird twister head moment with
Bart and Martin Prince.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was sitting on the left of Bart.
Yes, aye.
Bart's face, sort of mouth turned to the left, but his eyes were still pointing to the right.
Yeah, famous bit of twister head.
Yeah. There was also in the snow scene, the sort of idyllic snow scene right at the end, just before it sort of cuts back into Bart looking through the window.
Yeah.
And sticking his face from the window, which is a pretty decent bit of animation, that.
Yes, it was.
But
we're not here to talk about Boy. I sure hope someone got a raise for that. Not blunder.
Yeah.
For that good bit of decent work.
Well, Apu.
During the Grinch parody.
Yeah. When it's panning along there and you've got, for some reason, Homer and Apu are standing next to each other but not holding hands, and then there's some random person holding Apu's hand on the other side, but you don't see them. There, they've got like one eye is an oval, the other eye is a circle.
Apu?
Yeah. And his nose, where it sort of crosses where the bottom of his eye is, there's an extra line in there, or just like solid black that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like just small things, really, to be honest. But
and his eyes are pointing in different directions as well.
Yeah. Probably not made any better by the fact that the right eye is like, well, the left eye on the screen is like an oval. Yeah. And the other one's a circle. The normal shape for the Simpsons and Simpsonites. Springfieldianites. There we go. I don't really think I noticed anything else that was particularly
I didn't notice anything, really.
Right.
I didn't even notice the Apu issue until you pointed it out.
Yeah. I don't think there was anything else, to be honest, there. So I think that's probably the end of that.
Wow, we're really speeding through these segments after we took 95 minutes to get through the description of the episode.
Why do you think it took me 95 minutes to get the description of the episode? I knew we had nothing in these segments. I actually did not. I had no fucking clue. I never thought about it.
You know what we do
I plan nothing about this podcast.
I am more than aware.
I know.
Do you know what we have a lot of material for, though?
Trivia?
What kind of trivia? What flavour of trivia?
3 blind mice.
3 blind mice trivia. Our world-renowned segment. 3 blind mice trivia.
Yes.
Here is your first piece of 3 blind mice trivia.
Very good. I'm ready.
This episode was originally intended to be the 3rd episode of the season. The producers brought it forward to be the season premiere due to the popularity of Bart Simpson.
Oh, fair enough.
Bart Mania was...
At least this time it wasn't a cock-up that led it to be
it
different.
Wasn't like season 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bart Mania was in full swing at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do an episode at some point where we talk about just Bart Mania.
Yeah. A good 15, 20 minutes of us salivating about that shit.
Here's some more information about Bart Mania.
Very good.
Over the summer of 1990, which is between the end of season 1 and the start of season 2, Bart's rebellious nature was characterised by some parents and conservatives as a poor role model for children, while several American public schools banned T-shirts featuring Bart. Several critics thought that this episode, was a response to these controversies. However, executive producer James L. Brooks responded that it was not, but added, "We're mindful of it. I do think it's important for us that Bart does badly in school. There are students like that. Besides, I'm very wary of television where everyone is supposed to be a role model. You don't run across that many role models in real life. Why should television be full of them?"
That's a very reasonable thing to fucking say.
Yes, aye.
Very reasonable.
And I think that's carried on to the kind of anti-hero kind of thing that you see on TV now.
Yeah.
Your Mad Men, your Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Your Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Your
list
Archer,
every other TV show that's basically in existence
your
right now.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You're the Punisher.
Yeah.
You're Daredevil.
Family Guy. Straight up rip. Of this.
Bob's Burgers, another straight up rip.
Yep.
Yeah. David Silverman described the snow day sequence as one of the hardest things he ever had to animate. It features several long pans which show many different characters engaging in various activities and was difficult to time correctly.
I can see that. It was quite a decent sort of set of segments there, because you had that sequence, the snow sequence, and then you had a section of the Simpson house you'd never really seen before, which is down the stairs in the basement.
Yeah.
And then you had Bart's dream sequence as well, immediately following that. So there's pretty decent animation in this overall.
Oh my fucking god. I just found Meme Spot in my trivia notes.
All right.
We're going back into Meme Spot for a second because there's 2 meme spots in this one.
All right, nice.
Otto saying, "Now I drive the school bus."
Oh, yes.
It might be the best joke in the episode.
Yes. Yeah, about the fact that, I get held back twice.
Now I drive the school bus. Bart's nightmare sequence with the former presidents features muted tones of red, white, and blue.
Yes, it
the
does.
Same colours as the Union
old
Jack.
flag. That's not. That's really
colours,
fuck them off.
Same colours as the French flag. It was difficult to make Bart crying not make his character model look grotesque, which is why he covers his face with his test paper.
Yeah.
We talked about the crying issues last season.
Yeah.
I think it was in Bart the General, because he's crying in the bathtub and Homer comes in with a hairdryer and dries his tears, and it's
weird,
freaky.
Yeah.
Bart is left-handed, as is shown in this episode.
I didn't even clock onto that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Huh. I feel like I probably knew that at some point in time.
I'm sure it comes up at some point.
But did not remember that. That's cool.
The first 13 episodes of Season 1 were shown as reruns throughout the summer to bridge the gap between that season and this one. Because the show was so popular.
Right. Nice.
When the Fox network decided to show The Simpsons on Thursday, 8 p.m. EST against NBC's highly rated The Cosby Show,
Jesus Christ,
many were expecting this to be a war for ratings. Surprisingly, this episode drew higher ratings in its first airing than The Cosby Show, which would eventually lead to The Cosby Show's cancellation in 1992. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Good.
Yep. For the best.
The day before the episode aired, the writers realised that they had missed the opportunity to include Herman, the one-armed man,
right,
in the scene where they parody the Grinch and all the characters are holding hands.
All right. That would have been good.
But that scene does feature Sideshow Bob.
Yeah.
It features Bob, the RV salesman.
Yeah.
From season 1. It features Jacques.
Yeah. There's quite a few
Princess
others.
Princess Jasmine or Cashmere or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Is that
from Homer's Night Out.
Is that not the Cashmere Club or something?
Princess Jasmine, I think it is.
Yeah.
No, Princess Cashmere, because Princess Jasmine is Aladdin.
Oh, fucking Jesus. Yeah, never mind. It just sounded right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Was Bleeding Gums Murphy in the lineup of Holding Hands?
No, but he was caroling. He was singing along to the band that was playing in the
bandstand. Yeah. Which have you seen yet so far, other than in this idyllic scene? Have we actually seen the bandstand?
I feel like it shows up at some point. Yes, there's this is when I flexed my epic Simpsons knowledge. The episode where Lisa Simpson becomes a member of the Springfield Mensa. A fight breaks out between Mensa, who have booked the bandstand, and Lenny, Carl, Sam, the barfly, and the other barfly, Larry, I think his name is, who are all drinking in the bandstand.
I was thinking more along the lines of, have we seen the bandstand? I was meaning, have we actually seen it so far?
Oh, up until now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's don't think so. You and your epic fucking Simpson knowledge. This is why I ask you shit.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I cannot recall an episode where it would have had a chance. No, wait a minute. Yes. The episode where Homer becomes safety inspector and he's putting safety notifications and everything, and they go past the park and he's put a safety notice. I think he's blocked it off.
Right.
My mind is filled with Springfield. When Maggie is scanned during the new opening credits, the price that appears in the cash register is $847.63.
Mm-hmm.
This was the estimated cost of raising a baby for 1 month in 1989.
Very cool. Did we give that bit of trivia in season 1?
I don't think I've given that before. And if I have, enjoy hearing it for a second time.
Because we're not going to fucking check it to cut anything out.
Alright, this is the big one. This is the big bit of trivia that's going to take me a minute to read.
Okay.
This episode is the first to feature the new opening title sequence.
Yes.
The logo is a lighter blue and passes by clouds instead of mist.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-painless dentistry has been replaced with Dandy Candy from the season 1 episode Telltale Head.
Yep.
Springfield Elementary is now orange instead of grey or purple.
Yep.
Buildings have been added to the shop where Bart skateboards out of school.
Yep.
Mr. Burns and Smithers appear behind Homer at the nuclear power plant instead of a man eating a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
The grocery store background has been changed to orange instead of red.
Mm-hmm.
The bus stop gag has been removed and replaced with the new street featuring the characters Helen Lovejoy, Apu, Mo, Barney, Jock, Whittingham's Murphy, and Chief Wiggum.
Yep.
The pet shop that Bart swings past is now a bookshop.
Yep.
Lisa's bike ride has also been removed and instead is replaced with a wide panning shot of a bunch of characters.
Mm-hmm.
TV set has also been changed to purple instead of orange.
Oh, yes, it has.
There you go.
Very good.
That was the end of 3 Blind Mice trivia.
You sound depressed about that.
Yeah.
It's a sad time. Sad times. But yeah, that was really good.
This is the saddest moment of my week. Because it means that I am the furthest point for the next installment of 3 Blind Mice trivia next Wednesday.
Oh, what a way to plug the day for the podcast.
Yep. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. UK time.
Yeah. Was it fucking GMT?
Yeah, GMT.
Yeah.
I say UK time for our American listeners.
Aye, makes more sense.
Several hours, 3, 4, 5 hours earlier than that.
Yeah, aye.
So we'll go basically
depends on where they are in America, but yeah
essentially during the night.
Yeah. Well, you can meet up to it and fucking sit and listen to it on the way to work. Assuming it's not too long.
That was the idea.
It's almost like someone thought about it. Not me.
Not me. Oh, no, wait, it was me.
It fucking was you. I was like, well, I guess it's just sheer dumb luck.
It was that damn gorilla. He came in here and he went, when's the podcast coming out? And I went, I don't know. And you didn't say anything. And then he knocked our heads together.
Yeah.
He said, well, you better think of something or I'll be coming back. And I ain't just going to be knocking heads. Oh, and he shook his fist at us.
Spelling tea everywhere.
Yes. For a second, my brain went, what kind of a gorilla drinks tea, David? The fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
that's the logo
Jesus.
for our production company, which makes the podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
What did you think of this episode?
What happened? Yeah.
Let's do another recap. Pad the episode out a bit.
It gets an F.
It gets an F?
Bart.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought it had some, as I've mentioned already, it had some pretty good animation sequences.
The animation also felt a bit soft as well, though.
It did, yeah.
It's a bit rubbery. Not as bad as some season 1 episodes.
No.
But not quite there yet for what the show would become.
Yeah, yeah. You still got like the twist ahead and stuff popping up and some like that weird sort of wide jaw
Oh, the
grin
thing
that
that
they
Bart
pull themselves.
and Martin does.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
Bart does in the season 1 episode, Bart the Genius, to annoy Martin.
Yeah. Yes.
And Martin does it back, so why can't he do it in this episode?
He does. He just...
No, he can't. He does it wrong and Bart has to correct it.
Oh, yes, he does.
Boy, I sure hope someone got fired for that blunder.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Fuck this show.
Boy, did we choose the wrong fucking season.
Join us next week when we'll cover Futurama season 1 episode 1.
Really?
Fry gets an F.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
We'll cover American Dad.
Oh, no.
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 We'll cover the Cleveland Show. It'll be a nice short podcast. Did that show get cancelled after 8 episodes?
I
think it was just
didn't
one
watch any
season.
of them, so I have no idea.
You didn't watch Cleveland Show?
I did not watch the Cleveland Show.
I watched the Cleveland Show as it was airing.
I watched one episode of the Cleveland Show after you told me about the Cleveland Show.
Wow, that was recent as well.
Yeah. And I was like,
I think I watched every episode, but I was still like,
yeah.
It was back in the day before streaming services.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, it is on TV.
It
is on.
Yeah, I mean, what else is on at that point?
It's this or Big Brother.
Fucking Jesus.
Or football or whatever.
Some
snooker,
shit.
Some piss.
Aye. So yeah, what do you think
of the
about
episode? Damn, you got me.
I did.
Yeah, it was. I think it's a good episode. It feels almost like a spiritual successor to Bart the Genius.
It does.
Because we pick up with another episode about Bart and how he's getting on in class and his interactions with Martin Prince.
The way it should have gone.
How they contrast each
with,
other. I actually wish they had acknowledged the events of Bart the Genius in this episode.
Yeah.
So it would have made a nice redemption arc for them. Because obviously they start out butting heads and Martin Prince is he's a prick.
Yeah.
To Bart in season 1 in that episode. So here for him to see that Bart is struggling and that Sherry and Terry are taking advantage of him and help him there. And then for Bart and Martin to help each other and grow that friendship, which you kind of see in a lot of later episodes, sprinkled on and off throughout the show as it goes on. I really wish they had actively acknowledged
it
the
would have
season 1
really
episode.
sort of made a bit more sort of story sense for them not being at complete loggerheads with each other if they sort of did something like you said where they sort of acknowledged that, and in this episode somewhere would have been nice, because it's like otherwise, especially we've talked about it before, but especially with Martin missing out and going to this fucking genius school.
I think it's because at this point the show was still completely serialized.
Right.
Like the only thing that carries over from episode to episode at this point is Santa's Little Helper isn't in the episodes before he's introduced. Yeah. And he is in the episodes after he's introduced.
Yeah. Well, I really wish it wasn't like that, because it would have made things a lot more
thematically resonant.
Aye, some shit. I can see the look in your face there.
Resonant
There's something between disappointment and shame. Yeah, I think I've gotten more energy, and I've probably stole it from you.
I had to do trivia, and trivia always drains me.
Yeah, it does.
I'm lifting all the weight in trivia.
Well, yeah, hi. I don't look up any trivia.
No,
I know nothing about the show.
Who's Homer's wife?
Who? Fucking Jesus.
But yeah, let's crack on. And what did we think about the episode?
Yeah. Similarly, with the dream sequence, the fact that it's the sort of muted colours and things like that, I thought it looked really quite good.
It doesn't look as good as the ones that we liked in season 1.
No, it doesn't, but I think it had a lot less going on in it. So it wasn't as like an active a scene as any of the other ones. And it certainly wasn't as flowy. It was a very similar sort of colour palette to...
It's one shot, really.
It is.
Or one angle, anyway, and it zooms
pretty much,
in
yeah.
and out on Bart and on everyone.
Yeah. It's a lot less sort of like...
We've been over an hour.
Really?
We're almost at 2 hours of recording time, mate.
Oh, shit, now.
Wrap it up. That's the end of the segment.
38 minutes is nonsense of that.
That's still over an hour. We need to crack on.
Fuck it. Good dream sequence. Not as good as some of the other ones.
What did you think of the emotional tag at the end of the episode with Bart crying?
I didn't really like it, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't really like the fact that...
Extrapolate on that. I'm bringing it full circle.
Yeah, I'm aware. Well, I didn't really like it because... Bart doesn't really want to get held back. Yeah, probably doesn't want to fail the class. But is he that bothered about it? To the point where he's actually going to, like...
I think the nightmare sequence
cry?
that we haven't mentioned yet plays a big part in this as well. Where he's still in the class when he's in his late 40s.
Oh, yeah. And he's in with his son.
He's in with his son who's better at the class than he is.
Yeah.
Bart Jr.
Yeah.
And Edna Krabappel is still his teacher.
Yeah, I guess, but I still don't think it was... I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was very Bart for me.
I remember the first time I saw it being emotionally impacted by the episodes.
Right.
And now, not really.
I can see that.
Definitely something doesn't work about it now.
Yeah.
And I cannot put my finger on what that is.
I don't know. What the hell would it be? Why the fuck do we not care about this kid?
I didn't say I didn't care. I'm not a monster.
No, I know that, but why don't we give a shit about Bart and his plight here?
Yeah.
I guess maybe when the first time we were watching this, we were obviously... It was reruns by this point, but we were obviously children watching it.
We were around the same age as Bart, probably, going through similar things.
Probably around that age, yeah.
And now we're in our late 60s. Well, I'm in my late 60s, you're in your early 70s.
Yep.
Our penises don't work.
Fucking looking good, though. No, the penises we are for our age. I mean, they probably do. I don't know.
Nah.
Haven't seen it in a long time.
It's just how long your beard is. It's
yeah,
all tangled up in there.
It's all braiding into one now.
Yeah. But word gets back from those who have seen it. And it's looking good. Yeah, I guess maybe there's a sense of emotional distance between Bart's plight and when we were last doing exams or tests.
I don't know.
And maybe because it's just the 4th grade, it's not like... I don't know. I think it's also a bit more sappy than The Simpsons has been so far. I can't think of a season 1 episode that is as sappy as this is.
Yeah.
And we talked about how some of those episodes were a bit sappy.
Yeah. I think also maybe the fact that like we're looking at this episode from an adult perspective.
Yeah.
So say when in the meeting we're like, Homer's like, well, it should be bigger than the other kids.
Aye.
And Marge is like, it might be good for you. I was genuinely sitting there going, it probably would be good for you to get the help back.
All the kids that he's friends with would be gone.
Yeah. Isn't Lisa younger?
2 years younger.
Oh, okay, well.
And if he failed it again, he would be in the same class as Lisa, which I think could be Bart's worst nightmare.
Yeah, probably would be. They would probably come to a bit more loggerheads with each other.
Yeah. Well,
definitely don't think Lisa would particularly enjoy Bart dating her friends at some point in later years, because they would have all grown up together eventually.
Well, Lisa dates Milhouse at points in the future. Disgusting Milhouse. That's something we didn't really talk about. This episode doesn't have an A-B plot. It's just Bart.
It is, yeah.
I think maybe that's why it was harder to recap, because it's just...
one thing.
It's 23 minutes of Bart failing and then not failing.
Yeah. Just.
And there's
it's 22 and a half minutes of Bart failing and 30 seconds of him not.
I actually think it makes the episode feel a lot simpler and more like something that would have aired on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, like a Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Fairly Odd Parents.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah.
That kind of... where it's solely focused on the kid characters and the adult characters don't really factor in.
Yeah.
Whereas even in season 1, episodes like Bart the General
Mm-hmm.
And Bart the Genius had Grandpa, Herman, Homer,
Yeah.
Skinner playing massive roles.
Yeah.
Or having B plots.
Mhm.
Whereas with this, it is entirely the children.
It's just, all Bart and Martin and
Bart.
basically all Bart.
Elisa,
yeah. But
the adult character with the most play is probably Edna Krabappel.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
And even then, it's like 3 scenes.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that there's no sort of B-plot in this one.
Mm.
I think they needed the 23 minutes for this to get it kind of...
Maybe. They did also
way
kind
it
of
is.
tread water for a bit in the middle as well, though.
Yeah.
Where they're just constantly
You know,
re-establishing that Bart is failing to study and he's...
Yeah, but one of the sort of things that I really quite liked about the story bit was the procrastination of him doing the homework.
Right.
And doing his studying. That I really quite like that, because I was like, this is like Spawn. This I know. When I first watched this, I was like, that's me.
Did you
right
ever
there.
get into finishing that website that you were going to design when we were in college as part of your course?
No.
Yeah, exactly. And that was 55 years ago.
At least. I might hand it in one day if you're listening.
Well, she's dead now.
I hope not.
Age-wise, I mean. Not literally.
I know.
Not that I know of.
No. But yeah, no, I quite like that part of it. But yeah, there's a bit of procrastination and stuff in the episode, but I kind of
maybe
like
it's
that.
also difficult to not feel frustrated with Bart.
I guess, yeah.
As an audience member, I don't know if you got that. At certain points, not near the end where he's actually trying, but near the middle where he's not trying and not improving and not understanding why he's not improving.
Yeah, or not saying something. So, like, I don't know, when Homer drags him off, not like Homer's so engrossed in this movie, he doesn't need to stay sitting there.
Yeah,
he can just sneak off, and Homer wouldn't have noticed.
Or constantly trying to ignore and push off the looming consequences that he's going to failing this grade and having to reset it. It's Lisa who has to step in and stop him from enjoying that snow day.
He's halfway running out the door before Lisa fucking steps in front of him.
Aye.
So, yeah, if that never happened, if she didn't, like, intervene, then he would have been out there sliding away and it would have failed and got held back. Yeah.
It's a fine episode, but I think it's definitely not one that I would want to revisit very often. Whenever I sit down to watch a random episode of The Simpsons, this is never
it's not one that I would pluck out and
always
actually
skip over this one.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap it up there.
I think so, yeah. So
this has been Insert Brain here, a T422 production. I've been Connor.
And I've been David.
Have a happy new year on Sunday. We'll see you next Wednesday for...
Next year,
even. Wow. Next Wednesday, next year, for the first episode of 2024. Season 2, Episode 2, Simpson and Delilah. Anyway, we'll see you then and every Wednesday after.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Smell you later.
Aye. Is there something else we're supposed to be talking about? The website.
My Jiminy Christmas.
Website, the fucking Instagram,
follow us on Instagram at Insert Brain Here Pod, all one word, and follow T422 Productions as well as on somewhere Instagram, on there as well, and on YouTube. Unless you're listening to this on YouTube, hey, subscribe and fucking whatever, or have a look on our website, insertbrainhere.podcastpage.io. There we go. That's Insert Brain Here, all one word, .podcastpage.io. Perfect. All right. We'll smell you later. And we'll smell you later. All right.